of this team, almost half, KT.
Yep.
You know what DK stands for?
Don't know.
No. Dumber KT. That's where we're at right now, Dplus.
No, it stands for don't know.
No, I got that joke.
Okay. Just needed to make sure, okay?
No, I did get it, man. I'm losing it, Dplus.
I just think that was fine. You didn't need to find another one. Don't know is perfect.
No, but I was setting up for it. I was doing a dramatic pause.
I
guess the delivery was not good.
I apologize. I think maybe I'm just a little bit cooked at this stage of the day. As Kalista and the Ornn both taken away here by DK. They also don't like the tank situation that the top side was bringing.
You did just watch Beryl go 2-6. I know that for you doesn't matter, but there's got to be a part of you that's not super happy about that.
No, I feel like he got involved a lot, and that's what I like. It's like, so the way that you win as a Beryl fan is you do it based on screen time. And he gets plenty of screen time because he's always doing stuff.
So, Jace is still open.
What's the Batman quote?
The Ornn band prompted a Rumble. What Batman quote?
The Batman, a hero is just someone to be long enough to be the villain thing. What's
you either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah.
Harvey Dent in Dark Knight.
Yeah. Beryl has become the villain a while ago. So I think that's sort of the perfect representation. That is an extraordinarily early Alistar, as the Xin Zhao also going to be locked away, as the Pantheon was the ban choice here on DK's side. They opted into the Sylas ban. Jace's first pick is unsurprising. Nah, it's Nidalee Renekton. Just do it, guys. Oh no, don't do this. That makes me feel way less happy. Just
everything on the line. Must-win series.
Nidalee Renekton.
Lucid Scar. Yeah, no. Well, this is the problem. DK have had so many high-profile oopsies that if they pick Renekton and Nidalee, all we're going to talk about for the entire game is how you lost your hair to Showmaker.
Yeah, but he was playing the Jace in that. No, he was playing the Renekton, wasn't he? Yeah.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, he was playing the Renekton. So I was expecting
I like that.
Okay, instead it will be the pivot. Oh god, if it was Victor, then that would be...
We're blinding is the biggest problem here.
Yeah.
Blind Victor, I think, does make sense, because then the only thing really Bulldog can go towards is Akali, and Bulldog Akali, I don't think that's it. Like, I don't think you're worried. I think there's a lot of champions that Bulldog plays. He's at a pretty eclectic champion. People playing well is another thing entirely, obviously.
Yeah.
As
that's the Dusante?
There were times where the Dusante would have struck fear in the hearts. That time is not. Yeah. That time has passed. We had one good Cassante game. And you know who it was? Soboro. That was literally, I'm not even joking, that was the only one this entire split so far.
Yep.
Where we saw Cassante, we're like, okay, he did some stuff.
Yeah.
Champion just got bad, like,
yeah, he
nerf
just
hammered really hard.
Not very good. Like, we saw Zeus really struggle to do anything at all on the champion, and that's when we know.
Keen is what? Like, has he even played it? And if he's played it, it hasn't left an impact.
I don't think so.
And the Keen Sante was a...
Yeah, that's a staple.
Was it not just...
Wait, did he play Cassante in the one game they lost against KT?
Might very well be the case. Wouldn't surprise me.
I think that might have been what happened.
Oh, we shouldn't talk about Genji, not in this game. But let's... I'm not as...
You're allowed to. You're allowed to.
I know. I'm joking.
It's fine.
So what is Berserker going to just slam Zeri here? Because we're banning Ezreal, we're banning Xayah. Jinx is still open, Ashe is still open, Varus is, I'm double checking, is still open. So there are two avenues. Either we go lane bully or we go hyper carry.
Oh, wow, that's a way. This is one of Bulldog's favorites.
It is, and it should be really good into the Rise, and it also keeps hidden.
I feel like
Berserker's going to play. It really does, yeah. But I also am kind of a Hui hater. I feel like Chovy has lost games on this champion. Yeah. That's how you know. If Chovy isn't winning on it, I don't know if you should.
Oh, I missed the win rate, but I assumed it wasn't very high.
It was 0.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got you. That also is in line with very high.
Heyman can do one of two things. He can lock Varus, and they go for a more early skirmish and lane dominant approach. In this case, he's probably going to have to play the... Can either do on-hit or lethality. I do think lethality... Okay, well, this is a kind of an indication that's going to be the on-hit. Because lethality works well with the Jace. But this is a very tough lane to deal with. Nico can no longer be picked because we have the Alistar already locked in, and I think the Renata into a mostly short-range composition, barring the Hui, does feel pretty good.
This, I feel, is like the biggest Hail Mary ever.
I don't like it.
Neither do I.
You're trying to play Zeri into Renata, into Ryze, and into the Skarner. Now, Skarner obviously does struggle getting on top of you.
Okay.
But the Zeri, to me, has lacked some impact. These early skirmishes have been very back and forth. And that core of Zeri, Alistar, and Zinzao, I can see them just like DK take a bad fight, Zeri starts off 2-0. Let's be real, Berserker is already everyone's POM if DNF somehow end up winning this series, which, with these drafts, I do think the DK draft feels way better. I think their laning phases are going to be, barring mid lane, generating constant prio. Lucid on a tank is better than it used to be. I still think he has his ups and downs, but even his Sejuani game was actually quite good.
Yep.
And Showmaker on Ryze has been one of the champions where even when they were really struggling, which I guess we're back in that era for DK, he was able to perform on pretty reliably. But DK backs against the wall. Yes, technically, they're not locked out if they lose here, but realistically, they can keep control of their own fate if they win here. Otherwise, it's very hard.
Extremely. And let's see whether they can do it. This is the fight for DK to make it to the Legend Group. They're competing with only KT. We are living in a world where we won't get DK versus Gen G for like a really long time, or we will miss out on the telecom war for the regular season in the Legend Group and the Ryze Group. It's just how it's going to be. We're going to have to get used to it as the DN Freecs looking for another victory. 2 would double their wins here in the LCK. We'll see whether they can do it. Let's dive into the Rift. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, on the Rift 4. Game number 3, the decider between DK and DNF.
And possibly the decider of who makes it to the Legend Group. Because if DK lose here, they are going to have to rely on KT to pull the biggest KT.
Yeah. A really big KT.
A really big KT.
As we have got a lot of things on our screen right now indicating what's going to have to happen if tiebreakers are going to potentially occur. There is possibilities for tiebreakers still in our future. We'll have to dissect exactly what that all means. As we are now looking at a difficult lane for DNF here in this early game. Berserker and Life are going to struggle, I would expect, into the Varus and Renata. Do you think that is that an okay thing to say? Are we
they really should. Yeah, if they don't, something is going very, very wrong. As we do see the confirmation, as we expected, aiming is sitting on the Lethal Tempo Varus, which with the bailout in particular, I think is always going to be feeling a lot better, as we do have, Life knocking into the wall, but not getting that much value out of it. And we saw aiming doing a good job of dodging those early Qs out of the Zeri. And I don't really know why Life and Berserker are contesting that aggressively. I really feel like they need to, as we have an interesting pathing here from Lucid, actually going Raptors into straight towards his top side. Wonder if that's an indication of anything in particular, or if he just wants to make sure that nothing is going to get taken away. As we do have the early crash, and again, this is to be expected. This is going to remain a very tough lane, even post-6, where generally Zeri lanes kind of get a boost. I do think that into Varus Renata specifically, like trying to go for an all-in window is not, that doesn't really exist. We used to see that with Zeri Lulu, where in like the long lane, you know, if the Lucian ends up getting knocked up when the Zeri goes in with the Lulu ult, and then you just kind of run them down. It's Renata and it's Varus. You will not win that.
Yeah, I'm looking for where the angles of like happiness and fun times for DNF are in this laning phase. I'm just not really seeing them anywhere at all. And perhaps it's in the mid lane where Bulldog, like you've already indicated, does have, you know, a bit of lane advantage. But here on the bottom side of the map, I don't think that they're going to get much of a look in unless Pyosik can get something done. And on the top side of the map, you can see the Dusante is not finding very much success as Pyosik spotted here, as Showmaker is just going to be roaming over. And we'll find the Rune Prison. Lucid looking towards this Rift Scuttler, and he will be able to pick that one up. Crashing towards, and we'll be able to claim the bottom one. Zerk taking a fair bit of damage here as the Piercing Arrow does fly on over. And he's down about 11 CS. There are almost that many minions here waiting as Lucid. Oh dear. Pyosik in position, so this dive not likely to happen, but I don't know whether it means that good times are going to ensue here for Life and Berserker.
Well, Lucid does miss the ward, but it felt like they were also pretty aware that Pyosik would be in the area. Because they had vision in his bot side jungle, so I think they knew that he would be on that side of the map. And it doesn't really matter as long as Aiming and Barrel can get their base off. Aiming not going for his, Barrel does find his. So Aiming, it looks like, trying to fake it back and then push out, but no. Looks like instead is just going to take it as a... So one of the things that the Cassante in his new form is supposed to really be very consistent in is the ability to be a lot stronger early in lane. And the cost of tanking is later on, as a that would have been a colossal kill. Yeah, I feel like Shiyu being Jace and being 2 levels up might have been okay, but he definitely would have had to flash. I don't think he would have been having the best of time. They do have the 1v2 remaining in place. So DK is not going for the swap because looks like Aiming with that later back felt like he wasn't even able to make it in time. They also want to play for Drake, which DK have been doing consistently. And Jace has a decent ability to clear the wave without being nearly as threatened compared to the Cassante. Obviously just kind of have to sit there because he doesn't have Raid's wave clear. And he also doesn't have real kill threat in a 1v2. And obviously Shiyu doesn't, but he does have a good amount of damage in the short trades.
And I also feel like Shiyu does have decent snap wave clear as well, which is really nice.
A very short rotation. Right? If you just spam all 6 of your skills.
Yeah, like we saw, who was it that did it on that one minion? Ah, never mind. We don't need to talk about that as Dudu is going to have to flash.
That was Kingen.
That was, That was Kingen. He put all of his abilities into a minion and then had none of the abilities.
So Pyosik knows that Lucid is here. But they also know, right?
They know that we know that they know.
We all know
that they know.
Lucid just smites it, so.
But he knew that he had to smite.
Yeah, I also don't think the Cassante is diveable.
Oh, did Shiyu know? Well, did he care?
Oh my god!
Okay, he went in onto 2 people.
He's such a crazy little guy.
He is a crazy little guy, isn't he?
He's just I can win that. Kind of wins the trade as well.
Like, I mean, there's no upside.
No, actually, no, I think there is. So, because DK, with Shield playing that aggressively, he's going to TP back to his wave. He actually held on to his TP. He's going to have a full rotation. Berserker and Life going to be a little bit lower than they would have otherwise been. And they use their skills on him, not on the wave. So, top lane, I'm pretty sure, still has full marks on the plates. Yeah, 5 plates still. This bot lane is getting hammered down by this Varus Renata combo.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for you to tell me where... Didn't you say it was fine?
Yeah, for DK.
Oh!
Yeah, not for DNF.
Yeah, no, I was
it was a miscommunication.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a we did talky and not the understandy.
What do you mean? We never
messed that up before.
Never talk over each other. We never say something that the other person has just said, but we weren't listening because we were thinking about it.
That's the first sign, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Those who are watching, if you ever hear us just repeating exactly what the other person just said, that means we're sleepy. We're very sleepy.
Yeah, or just distracted by something.
Yeah,
you know, can be game related.
Or we feel like it requires being said again for emphasis.
And drama.
Yeah, or emphasis, depending on where you want to place the emphasis. Okay.
I do not like emphasis. That doesn't.
You're not a fan of that? It's a bit of a dad joke. That one.
I know. I get it. I get the joke. I just don't think it's that funny.
Okay. Well, it's a good dad joke then.
Because they're not supposed to be funny.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
You can talk to Valdez about that. I'm very new.
You are already one in spirit, Atlas. Let's be real.
Yeah, my dad did tell me that. I've got an honorary dad license before I'd even had a kid. All right, well, Showmaker is surprised as the Pulverize comes through onto Barrel. He's going to heal immediately as a bit of an enclosure being set up around DNF. Bulldog on a bit of a flank angle. They do manage to lock down one of these grubs. Is now Shiu going to get knocked back? Oh, maybe a Dusante moment as the flash out. He's trying to go all out as best he can. That sidestep was ridiculous from Shiu as he also gets the to the skies damage. And
the ult!
Yep, Showmaker making his way in. He'll find the Rune Prison, and unfortunately, he went from going all out to being all out options. And that is first blood going over to Shiu. That is just going to make Dudu's time even worse.
What a clean play, ending it with the hammer as well, like the skies. That's awesome. What I want to highlight, what is really cool to me, that is thematically a complete mirror of the play that got Dudu ahead in game number 1. I don't know if you remember when Dudu baited him in, and then he flashed, and then Pyoshik came in and they killed Shiu. Literally the exact same play.
Oh, Chains of Corruption.
Actually hitting a Chains?
That was nice.
I have never.
That was also like an unset up Chains as well. That's a tough one. It's all right. It's going to be a bit of a crash here towards the top side. It's just a kill onto the Cassante. It's not end of the world or anything like that here for DNF. But if that's a sign of things to come, it is going to be tough times. The way that we need to sort of frame this, and I think this is something that's probably going to be worth talking about, is the fact that later on in the game, DNF do a lot of things, and they do them pretty well, right? They'll have a true tank. I mean, DK does as well, but I feel like Dudu on this Cassante will be able to run amok. Like, aiming's going to have a really difficult time playing the game if they're on even footing. The problem is the mid game is going to be even harder than any of the other games that DNF has faced, and that is where they have struggled to find headway.
There is also the issue that the DK comp has, I think, even with... oh, he knows, yeah. Because they're on the ward.
Yeah.
Didn't have to show that, but did do so indeed. So we have Wei versus Jace, right? And right now, I know which one of those two I take. And I also think that we've seen team... Jace has been a Korean staple for...
ever.
As long as I can remember, for Korean League of Legends. Wei, even the best teams, I feel like he's supposed to kind of reach this point where you have critical mass and you can just poke away and poke away, poke away, win these longer fights. But the engage from DK, I think, is pretty good. I think your ability to force fights is decent. Nothing crazy, but it does mean that Bulldog can't just sit there and...
Whoa! The flash in from Showmaker, he finds it, but Bulldog not going to get hit by Lucid. Some of these Qs going astray as well. Nice fear, but it doesn't matter, as he is just dead. Lucid going to be able to lock down that kill. That makes it 2-0 here for DK. It's just feeling almost too easy now. They're going for a bit of an engage here towards the top side. Shiu trying to make his way out. The Unbreakable Will there from Life. And Shiu will be able to boot Berserker back. They're trying to get this kill over to the Zeri, but he almost just dies to the turret. Guys, just kill him. Just kill him, please, as now Life is going to get taken down. Shiu going to turn it in the meantime. Dudu is just getting thrown around by Beryl. Shiu still hasn't been taken out yet, and he might win this 1v1 as well as he almost finds it. Pyoshik does manage to get that kill, but that was way too close, and that was a 1-for-1!
That's not normally. They should check NPC. I don't know what that was.
Please check NPC.
Check NPC. Everyone in chat, spam it. What was that?
That's not fair.
That's like the third dive. He's outplayed. The other one was 1v2. This one 1v3.
What is it with top laners today? And finding sick outplays.
but the previous one, like the owner one,
felt a little bit more of a whoopsie.
That was just a straight up big mistake from owner. But here, I see this. I think he's just dead.
Yeah.
Right? And instead, the turret gets to ramp up. The timing obviously isn't great, but then Life goes in. He hits the shock blast, which allows him to get out. As aiming does have his flash, might have to use it here.
Yep, does. Used it in the right spot as well, as now Lucid trying to turn this one around. Gets the smite onto Life as the Impale. Not quite long enough, gives him the good old thumbs up. Ah, the walk away strategy, my only counter. Beautifully played.
It's not done. We need to remind everyone, as highlighted, I think DK's late game is good. DNF obviously have some what feel like should be an I-win, but most importantly, the Zeri.
Yes.
I do think Zeri isn't quite at the state, you know, if we go back to 2022, as a gank comes through, Zeri have to cleanse and flash?
Well, or death. Oh, flashes and skates over the wall. There it is. And I should have known that. It's the 25th anniversary of Jet Set Radio Future.
You want to tell everyone about...
Oh, the them skates. They've got like a brand new skate out that's actually like partnered with Sega. It's so cool. It is so cool.
Is Beryl just dead? I guess he's fine. So yeah, so Cleaver is done. And that means bad things for Dudu, who is about 1.1k gold behind.
He finishes chain best though.
Yeah, and also maybe Shiu was overstepped here, but they need to be very careful about how they play this, because he can just 1v2. So Berserker, tread carefully. Yeah, I think they made the right call. I think just let him leave. Let him leave.
Yeah. Please leave, in fact. Okay, well, he hasn't left. He hasn't left. Berserker, he hasn't left.
He's still going!
He just dives the turret and murders the Zeri. Shiu, baby. I saw yeah, there was a recent post on Instagram. I'm pretty sure LoL Esports talking about the best rookie of the year. Yeah, Cliff has some.
We are submitting some clips, Atlas.
I was gonna say we got Shiu and we got Diablo, and both of them are certainly doing some things.
They have
and
been,
Shiu heard us saying that Diablo's the one that's leading the charge right now.
He was. Diablo was pulling ahead.
Oh yeah,
Shiu's lost.
He may still be, but Shiu.
Oh, we don't know. But in this series.
Okay, let's see this again. This is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, if you hit every single button.
Yeah, that Jace doesn't speak English. That's very clear, Atlas. That's everything hit.
Yep.
That's now 3 in 1.
Jace doesn't. He might speak English, but he also speaks Korean. Okay. You can confirm that he does speak Korean.
And DNF, we're slowly getting to the point where we can't really talk about the late game win conditions. They're gonna need to get a pick on side. This might be it. We do have the 1-item spikes now. Therefore, Pioshik for Bulldog.
That is big number.
Yeah, so I already knew who my vote was going to be for DNF if they win, and I'm sure if they somehow win this game, it will be through Berserker. But you know whose vote I already also can kind of put down?
Oh yeah, DK, it's Barrow.
Imagine if I actually did that.
Atlas made me do it.
And then my comment was, I was not doing this voluntarily.
Yeah, no, just say ignore the gun to my head. Or something like that.
Guys, I swear I'm okay, hee hee. And then a happy smiley.
Yeah. I'm blinking twice. I'm blinking twice.
It's fine. Atlas would never do that. He's very nice. He just acts like he's not.
Yeah. Don't have a gun either. As Beryl and aiming, pushing out this wave. Rift Herald should be secured. As that would be DK actually getting all of the feats of strength, even though they already have the feats of strength. Isn't that cool? It kind of feels clean, doesn't it? Does really make you kind of want to fill up more of the bar even after they've been locked down.
So that is a clear indication that something is about to go horribly wrong for DK. The fact that we're talking about how clean this game is, I think DNF...
Oh, I was never talking about how clean it was. I was talking about how clean the feats of
just
strength
the UI, if you get all... Yeah,
no, nothing clean about the game.
I'm with you. No, I
would never be crazy like that.
I think it's important, right, to be upfront. Is DK in a huge commanding lead? Yes. Is it about 2.5k? Also, yes. Are they going to try and win the game off of this here Drake fight? Yes.
Are we looking forward to the Beryl interview? Yes.
Is Beryl dying here? Possibly.
No.
Not.
He's the player of the match, Chronicler. Can't be dying there.
I know you're memeing. I
don't have a vote, okay? Whether I was memeing or not, it would not matter. As Life getting himself out of there. This is for Soul Point, by the way, guys. DNF have to start playing the game at some point. And it needs to be soon.
It's here. They can't give this. There's no shot. You need to not allow them, but...
Barrel's
that's fine. They can't get access. They're just too far behind. They don't have prio in their lanes. They don't have any vision control.
And this was them like...
poke, but...
Yeah, they had to sacrifice mid-wave just so that they could try and get towards the Banana Brush to get some vision. They don't even get it. How did that actually land? That's unfair. Take the pedal, Showmaker. Oh, Shiu took it. Okay, PON. He's allowed.
Look at it!
Dudu is getting his hand shaken, and he's impaled. He is really having a tough time, but now he's just going to get out. Oh my god! The W-empowered Q is actually working. As Dudu survives. Okay, never mind. The hostile takeover comes through as well. That is going to make sure the rest of DK are going to be untouched. Berserker is still lying in wait, though. He knows that was not the window. As the extendo beam comes down, he's just going to skate off to the mid lane as the Soul Point goes over to DK. Okay.
That's Barrel.
Yeah, that's Lucid going over the wall as well. Is going to be able to find at least a Raptor. And there it is. So they get a bunch of buttons. The flash out of the Zeri, a huge deal.
As now mid lane turret on the verge of falling as well.
Okay. Oh, to clear the wave.
Yeah, the game state is not getting better for DNF. They will they'll get a bounty.
Yeah, there we go. Ignore the inner turret. Ignore this. So that's not going to change the money situation.
No. Let him leave, please. He doesn't have flash. No.
Oh dear, he's just going to get smoked. Showmaker going to come on over, and that will be Bulldog destroyed. Smashed against the dead turret, and there he goes.
I have even worse news.
There is no
way out. We have ignored, but Berserker has died.
Oh dear. And he has.
I've been ignoring it
this time.
And I think it's time to be upfront to our viewers and mention it.
Well, on that note, let's maybe let's try and work out these tiebreaker scenarios.
What I really want to know is how did DK really make us believe that they couldn't play a clean game, and then now we're currently in the process of them playing a very clean game, where the only def that they got is a def that was in a 1v3 dive that he still traded up?
They actually really appreciate on-stage practice.
I like it. That's a good angle. So, basically, DK, if they end up winning 2-1 here, there are two scenarios where we end up with the tiebreaker, right? There can be the KT 2-0 win over DRX, which is what is expected, which of course is scary, but let's say that that happens. And then if DK then win 2-1 to Nongshim, then they'll tie, both at 10 and 8, with a +2 game score. And then
fun one.
The alternative, say that DRX win, for example, 2-1, and then Nongshim also win. So basically, if
both KT and DK collapse in their remaining matches,
we
may then have another tiebreaker on the other side.
Which also would be very fun. And the head-to-head between DK, I was told, is 2-2, because they both 2-0'd each other.
Yeah, right, that makes sense.
So there will be a tiebreaker between those two. And let me tell you, a best of 3
that is a banger.
DK and KT.
Oh, we need to make sure that the predictions are exactly 50-50 between the entire casting team across both LCK, both Korea and the global.
It's fine. We have some people who can call in for KT predictions if we need them.
Oh, yeah.
By which I mean,
we need just to even them out.
No. So the KT fans will predict DK, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if we ask like lore,
I mean, I think that we all just flip a coin.
Yeah, but then it might not be even.
Oh, then you just re-flip the coin until you get the one you want. That's how coins work. That's how probability works. Okay, Yoshi, he's going to go in and then go out via the Death Chamber. Unfortunately, the Crescent Guard doesn't really work as aiming. He's got exhausted, but he's still doing a whole lot of damage. That Chains of Corruption almost actually landed as the Dusante is on the floor, as is Life. Bulldog needs to kite back as best he can, and I don't think these damage dealers are going to be able to do anything without their front line. Shu picks the cap in amongst all of these minions. And DK, they are feeling way too far ahead now. Showmaker is in the bottom lane, just pushing that one out. I believe he was there for the last fight. As the only death still is that of Shu. Let's have a look at this fight one more time, Chronicler. If we could break this one down, that'd be great. Pioshik went in.
Yeah, we are all ending on Renata, and then Renata ults. And yes, she does go down, but a lot of resources are used. Showmaker wasn't even in that fight initially. Like, obviously he ends up making it through. There are angles where I think you can try and catch them off guard, but this was very face-up, and very face-up into Renata Skarner just isn't going to work.
Renana.
Renarner?
Yeah, it's like a banana, but it's Renata Skarner.
You are going to be a great dad, Atlas.
Thank you very much. It's just, it sounds fun to say.
Well, I think it's also better if you're Australian. I do think that helps, because that's how you always sound anyway.
Yeah, because... Yeah, when things end with A and that just all sounds the same.
Or O.
Yeah. Or any sort of ending, really. We just kind of skip the end of words most of the time.
Yeah, it's fine. Who needs to end their words?
All right. Aiming barrel coming on through.
Did
you put your comment in already?
Yeah, we need to...
Oh my goodness, Chronicler!
I'm locked in.
Wow. You are doing your very best to find a caster curse.
Curses aren't real, Atlas.
I know. You are... Oh... You are deceptively cursy for a person that doesn't believe in curses. All right, Shock Blast coming on through.
All along.
Oh yeah, the closet DNF fan.
No, I'm saving it up for my reveal will come when DK needs it most.
All right, Pyosik on a flank angle here as the Dragon down to 50%. Teleport in from the Dusante. Lucid taking a fair bit of damage here as, all right, Realm Warp not really doing too much of anything at all. Pyosik does make his way in, gets towards Barrel and dives into that backline. Aiming has been engaged on, but the bailout is on. Can he get the kills? The answer is no, as he is going to get shut down. The Dusante picking up 2, but now it's Showmaker going nuts. Lucid as well is massive, and Shiu, he is actually the main carry, as Dudu will get out, but I don't know where the rest of them went. They all just kind of got flattened.
This is the problem when you're this far behind. That was actually a great engage from Pyosik. Was able to find the insec on Xin Zhao, knocking back, I think both aiming, I want to say Barrel or Lucid, someone else at least, but it forced the immediate flash. They still got on top of aiming, and post bailout, they eventually managed to kill him. But then you look, I want you to look not at aiming, but at Shiu and Showmaker, because aiming ends up dying, and that's nice, you know, that's neat. But then, watch what actually happens to the health bars as Showmaker and Shiu just have a...
Shiu's like initial...
It's a buffet!
Yeah,
it's a buffet!
His initial to the skies did like 50% of 4 people's health bars.
Yes, and then Showmaker is like, oh, 3 bounces for me?
Yeah, and oftentimes in those fights, and I was guilty of this, for the play-by-play is I'm trying to see where aiming is, you know, because he's like really important. The real carry was Shiu, who was in a great position off to the side of the fight.
Unbothered.
Yep, Showmaker there as well. And so the 3-1-7 Jace is definitely having a good time here. As you can see, very close to a 10,000 gold lead, but the big thing is that Hextech Soul that DK have.
It's, okay, Atlas.
Okay, who's your money on? Bulldog and Pyosik versus Shiu.
Shiu. He has Hextech Soul.
Yeah, so Pyosik is actually going to survive. There we go.
Ooh,
Baron
nice.
for Shiu is going to be the trade.
Well, I mean, it's a good trade for DK, but I really did think he was going to...
Yeah, no, so
maybe if he went on to Bulldog. Atlas, again, I think from this point on, the game is unlosable for DK.
Oh, come on.
They have Hextech Soul, okay?
No, I know, but if you're ever going to be trying to cast a curse, that's way too obvious.
There is no shot. If they lose...
All right.
I've done this without...
How much hair?
No, I will repeat it. I will believe in curses. I will be the #1 believer in caster curses if DK somehow loses.
All right, I want you to have a mustache for the rest of your life if DNF wins this game.
I am not doing that.
The rest of your life.
I will get murdered. Also, you hate the mustache!
I know, but...
You made so much fun of me for it!
But if it's because you lost a bet, it's fine. It's okay. DNF.
I'm sticking with the curse thing.
I still think that you hated the mustache more.
Yeah,
you were just
really,
far more committed to the bit.
I really didn't like it. I just thought it was funny. I stand by it. The bit was great.
Yeah. All right, DNF, desperate defense as Shiu looking to wrap around. Oh, this Shock Blast angle could be real scary. It's Pyosik that blocks it. And Dudu finds a Q back, pulls in Lucid here, but they're just not really doing damage.
The Hextech Soul, every piece of poke, just the damage is slowly whittling them down.
And there goes the inhibitor turret. Oh my god, stop it!
Berserker, gonna need a generational play if you don't want to go 1-17 here. Can they do it?
Well, it's gonna have to start very, very soon. There are only Nexus turrets in the way of DK, and there are soon gonna be a whole bunch of super minions making their way into this base as well, as Dudu is just getting cut down over and over again. Hextech Soul is ridiculous, especially if you're this far ahead, as DK just keeping them at arm's length. Oh, more of the poke is going to connect. And Lucid looking to throw some rocks in. It's Pyosik that's trying to go for the hero play. He dies. They find the Impale here as well, as we'll see whether Berserker can make it happen. Dusante making his way out as the Spiraling Despair almost managing to do a damage to Lucid here. And Berserker hasn't died just yet, but his Nexus is not going to be so lucky. Another game in this series where he might just be an onlooker as his base goes down. As never mind, he finds his way to the death chamber as DK will finally be able to take down DNF in this series and find pretty good standing against KT as they look towards the Legend Group.
And with this, DK keep control of their own destiny.